So, I have a new bandsaw in my shop.
So this is the Grizzly G0513x2, which is a 17-inch 2 horsepower bandsaw with cast iron wheels. Isn't it beautiful? And I'm working with Grizzly on this video, so I have a good deal. 10% off this machine if you use the code DARBIN10, link in the description. So perfect if you're thinking of upgrading your shop.
That's great. Do not drop. Stand up on it. God, this thing is huge. This is the 17-inch bandsaw. And it's not even on the stand yet.
So the machine is packaged really well. It weighs about 418 pounds, and obviously I am lucky that the UPS guy was able to deliver this right to the shop, because it would have been pretty heavy and awkward if I had to transport it any distance. I mean, especially without any heavy-duty machinery, a forklift, like anything like that. Now, I'm not sure exactly where this bandsaw is going to end up in the shop. We're doing a bunch of changes, but it's certainly nice to have a mobile stand for it so you can move it around. And the saw basically sits in the stand. You can adjust the stand to fit around the base perfectly. It's really a pretty simple concept. Now the bed comes covered in this thick grease, which protects it nicely and just needs a little bit of cleaning.
That is just gorgeous. Ah, so beautiful though. This is one hunk of metal. So you may have watched the video where I unboxed my new lathe, and this is kind of the companion piece to that. The lathe and the bandsaw, of course, go very well together. Isn't it nice looking too? It's like the Grizzly stuff have like the coolest look to them. Like this feels like an old like Western belt buckle on steroids or something. I just love it, and the buttons, everything is so nice. You can either wire it for 110 or 220. If you have it as 110, the amps are 19, I believe. Yeah, 19 amps. If you wire it for 220, it's 9.5 amps. I have it wired to 220. I currently have this on the base, but the height is 74 inches. I can move it around so it can get dust collection. Right now I don't have any dust collection over here. That's something we're gonna work on in the future.
So the saw has a nice handle which moves the cover of the blade up and down. And the other thing which is nice is the fence. You can use it either for resawing, so in an upright position, or you can turn it around and have it set up for cutting thin stock.
Now I need to put a new blade in here, so let's do that. Okay. This is a beautiful cast iron tabletop. It's a real nice piece that I got installed, but I'm gonna leave it on for now as I put in the new blade. Can of course take it off as well. So I got a 3/4 inch carbon tool steel blade here that I'm gonna put on. So these are the blade guides, and then there's a support bearing over here too that's going behind the blade that stops backwards deflection, and I need to adjust that as well. Just move like cylindrical up and down, so you can kind of see if you can see here. One more time. .16 of an inch feeler gauge. So one thing that's really nice about this saw is that it has 2 dust ports. So I used the Y connector here to connect to this one and to this one. And that way I get the dust collection from 2 sides.
So yeah, my shop, in my mind, it's definitely starting to come together. I am working with Grizzly on a bunch of tools. So the lathe, which I already made a video about, as well as a jointer and planer. And I'm gonna feature those coming up in videos later on too. And I guess in some ways my ultimate goal here is to make this shop feel like an old-fashioned kind of quality workshop that feels really comfortable, that's nice to spend time in. So I'm definitely looking forward to resawing some rough sawn lumber as well as bigger pieces for the lathe, which I have a lot of plans for. Another thing that's pretty nice about this saw is that it can handle up to a 1-inch blade, which would be nice for resawing. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you're in the market for a new bandsaw, then definitely use the code link in the description below for 10% off this saw. That's a really good deal for a beautiful machine. So I know I'm gonna have a lot of fun with this saw. Thanks for watching. See you soon.